And John Spencer. He's an award-winning scholar, professor, author, combat veteran, national security military analyst, and currently serves as the chair of urban warfare studies at the Modern War Institute at West Point. John, good to see you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We heard a lot from the president saying that the strikes were a spectacular military success. He said that future attacks would be far greater and a lot easier. I want to get your analysis, not just of what the president said, but where we are currently.
Sure. Where we are currently is that Israel conducted a preemptive strike, believing on the intelligence they had and the international community had that Iran was close to a breakout of a nuclear bomb. Israel's been doing a pretty good job of hitting all of the nuclear infrastructure, 14 of the 15 nuclear scientists, many of the missile components they were building. They're also trying to build an intercontinental ballistic missile program. But the United States tonight dropped multiple massive ordnance penetrators, bunker busters that Israel did not have on three of the nuclear infrastructures, very large complexes, because Israel couldn't do it. And hopefully, and what the president, I think I'm reading into it, will leave it at that and is hoping that there is a diplomatic option here for the Islamic regime to give up their nuclear program, very much like the Iraq nuclear site that was hit in the 1980s, that did lead to a successful dismantling and not unable to restart the program.
Was the intelligence that Iran was a lot closer to kind of getting to the end stages of developing a weapon that could be potentially dangerous to the world?
Absolutely. So the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the people that monitor this for the first time in 20 years, the morning before Israel struck, voted that Iran was in violation of non-nuclear proliferation obligations. So it was enriching uranium and conducting all the parts and pieces to a nuclear program. The United States military, over a month ago, the Strategic Command commander said they're a week within one bomb. And there are different estimates, but it's pretty conclusive that Iran was not negotiated in good faith. And President Trump gave them 60 days. And then on the 61st day, Israel struck. But yeah, the intelligence was showing that Iran was putting their nuclear program on a fast lane, not negotiating in good faith.
So, what does this mean about peace talks? Does this kind of show of force that we saw from the U.S. military tonight, does this compel Iran to come to the negotiation table and to negotiate in good faith?
So the enemy always gets a vote. You would think so. And Israel's operations over the last 8 days have been catastrophic to the Iranian military. 20 senior officers, multiple people in charge of the military have been eliminated. All the destruction on their ballistic missile program. But as you reported on, that there was a meeting in Europe just a couple days ago, and Iran said we're not willing to discuss that. So war is an act of force to compel an enemy to do your will, but we're hoping, I think the world should be hoping, that this was enough for the Islamic regime to come to the table and say, I give up my nuclear program. And the world can't survive if Iran has a nuclear weapon, let alone what they'll do with it, what they say they'll do with it, death to America, death to Israel, but the other countries around them that would also want one just out of protection from it. This is leadership in non-nuclear proliferation.
What do you say to people at home tonight that might be concerned about what this attack means for us here on the homeland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a historic moment, a serious moment. I don't think this is starting a war. If anything, this is ending a war that the Islamic regime has been allowed to continue, plus the nuclear program. But I mean, we are at a heightened, and law enforcement has been doing a really good job on catching people with bad intentions. But I think we do have to stay alert, and that's what supporting law enforcement is about.
John, last question before we let you go. What are you going to be watching for in the next coming days and weeks regarding this escalation?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching for what Iran does. Hopefully, they don't make the fatal mistake of attacking one of our military installations like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Qatar that are within its ballistic range. We have moved a lot of U.S. military capabilities, destroyers, aircraft carriers into the region to try to mitigate that. But I'll be watching very closely. Words are one thing, but what the Iranian regime does, both in the region, but also in Israel. Israel is now in bunkers, fearing a retaliation.
Of course, we will get more information as well from military officials tomorrow morning during a news conference. John Spencer, we appreciate your time for us tonight. Thank you so much.